design matrix, I have 5 photos of a gazebo table, a double-sided bench, a modernized bench, a seesaw, and a picnic type bench. The first one, for comfort, I rated it a 5 because the holes in the bench aren't the most comfortable thing. It gets annoying after sitting there for a while, and there's no back to it, so it's not super comfortable. Cost, I gave it an 8 because I was rating like the whole gazebo itself, because that would be pretty expensive. Environmental impact, rated a 4 because it doesn't give too much on that spectrum, and it's made of like this recycled plastic only on the seats, and then the rest is metal. Safety, I rated a 7 because it's pretty safe. The only thing is I've seen kids get their fingers stuck in the table. Sustainability, gave it a 5. Social impact, I gave it an 8 because you do see lots of people using these for parties and that. Function, I gave it a 10 because it's used for what it's made, and there's lots of people always here for parties. And then aesthetics, I gave it a 6 because it's not the prettiest thing, but it has a pretty good view of the lake. For the double bench, I rated it pretty similar to the first one because it is made of the same materials. So comfort, I gave it a 6, just a little higher rating because of the back. Cost, I rated it a little lower because there is no gazebo. Environmental impact, I rated the same. Safety, I gave it a 5 because if someone were to intentionally break the seats, you could fall because there's nothing underneath supporting where you sit. Social impact, I gave it a 4 because you're kind of back to back, so there isn't really much social interaction. Function, I gave it a 5 because I don't really see many people sitting on these. I see them more sitting on the same side benches, like the single-sided ones. In aesthetics, I gave it a 4 because half of it's not facing the link, so it's not really purposeful in that way, and it's not very pretty. The next one's the modernized bench. It was dedicated to someone, and I rated it a 7 for comfort because it forms with your back and it's pretty comfortable, and the holes are bigger on this one, so it's not as uncomfortable as the first two. Cost, I gave it a 7 because it's made of all metal, and so it's a little more pricey. Environmental impact, I gave it a 5 because it is made of metal. Safety, gave it a 4 because you could get easily sunburnt. There isn't like a top over it, and the metal would burn you. Sustainability, I gave it a 5. It's pretty stable on the ground and everything. Social impact, I gave it a 4 because I don't really see many people sitting on here, but it does get people to socialize and talk about like who was this made for and look that up. Then function, I gave it a 3 because not many people sit on these, because it is dedicated to someone. Aesthetics, I gave it a 6 because it is very sleek looking and very nice. For the seesaw, I gave the comfort a 5 because it's not the most uncomfortable thing, but it's not also very comfortable. Cost, I gave it a 6 because it's made of mainly like the steel type metal, and it's painted and everything. Environmental impact, I gave it a 5, same as before because of the metal. Safety, I gave it a 5 because you could see a bunch of kids falling off of this because there is no back, and they're bouncing up and down and they can fall off. Sustainability, I gave it a 5, same as the last one. Social impact, I gave it a 6 because you do see a lot of kids sitting here playing and everything like that on these. Function, I gave it an 8 because it is used exactly how it's purposed, Sometimes you'll just see kids sitting there, but for the most part, it's used how it's supposed to. Aesthetics, I gave it a 5 because it is missing some handles, so it looks a little odd with only one blue handle, and the colors are just a little interesting. And then the last one is the picnic bench. The comfort, I rated a 6, and it's because the holes are a little smaller, so it's and also a different material as the first two. It's more rubbery, so it's a little more comfortable than like the plastic type. The cost, I gave it an 8 because the whole gazebo and everything, and there's 4 sides to it. Environmental impact, I gave it a 4, pretty much the same as the first one. Safety, I rated it a little higher than the first because the holes are smaller, so you don't really see kids getting their fingers stuck in it. Sustainability, I gave it a 5. Social impact, I rated it a 9 because I always see kids here and they're always hanging around here after school, and I also see birthday parties happening here. Function, I gave it a 10 just as the first one. It's used exactly as it should be, and there's always people here gathering around. And aesthetics, I gave it a 5 because the color's a little interesting and it's not like the most sleek or prettiest looking, but it does bring a pop of color to the area.